Hey there, guys. How's it going out there for you today? Mr. Music Fan here, and I'm gonna do like a quick song review slash commentary on Linkin Park's new song called "Lies, Greed, Misery," which is supposedly, I think, the second single off of the band's fifth upcoming studio album, Living Things. Oh, sorry about that. It was just a bit of an update. Forget about it. Anyway, I'm just gonna put my thoughts and my feelings on the new song "Lies, Greed, and Misery," and and quite basically, it's way better than Burn It Down. In my personal opinion, it's better than Burn It Down. This song, you know, Burn It Down was a lot more like What I've Done meets little electronic bits of the Catalyst. So it's not nearly as epic, but it's still pretty good. Lies, Greed, and Misery, though, is just, my gosh, it is just a monster of a song. It is just really big and really, it's not as epic. It's not as epic as the Catalyst. It doesn't. It's not as epic in the sense of, really kind of rising action and then like this really epic climatic thing, and then the rising down of that. You know, like I mean, like I think this song closely mirrors, at least the way I view it, closely mirrors that to a lot of the comments that Chester and Mike Shinoda have been mentioning in interviews regarding the album's sound. It's this meshing of all the band's previous work, little bits and pieces of the band's previous four albums, and putting them into one. Burn It Down sounded a lot like more like What I've Done um, meets like a little slower version of Burning in the Skies. At least like some little bits of electronic thrown in. This one though, when I heard it, it was a lot more like uh, like the song "Hit the Floor" from Meteora meets Blackout from A Thousand Suns. It really sounds like both those songs put together, and yet it has the drive and it has the energy of A Place for My Head from the Hybrid Theory album. So just to give you guys a quick, well, you know what? I'm not going to put a link to. I'm going to put a link on the description bar, and then you guys can see that below. But but my thoughts of this song is just mind blowing, just really awesome, great, awesome song from Linkin Park. It really does take a kin to the band's heavier side, like I said before. Burn It Down sounded a lot more like electronic version of What I've Done, which is not to say that it's a bad thing. I do like Burn It Down, but this song really, personally speaking, just trumps that song. Like this is one of the most heaviest. I would say heaviest, but it's one of the most driving songs I've heard of Linkin Park yet. This one really takes a much bigger throwback to the band's earlier days, like Hybrid Theory days, than Burn It Down did, which is more evocative of Minutes to Midnight and A Thousand Suns. And the thing I absolutely love about this song is pretty much the whole song. Like there's driving energy here. There's the little bit of driving electronica going around, but without being so overly present to the point that it's overbearing. Um, and one other thing one of the awesome things about this song is Mike Shinoda's rapping. Like I personally think that Mike Shinoda's rapping here is way better than Burn It Down, just way better than Burn It Down. Like his rapping flow on this song is just phenomenal. It's so well paced with the flow of the song. They don't feel short at all. and you know, like it. And the really cool thing about Mike Shinoda's rapping here is that it's like the music. It is a bit of a throwback to the band's earlier Hybrid Theory days. Like, you know, like he really sounds more like Mike Shinoda from Hybrid Theory Meteora than he does on his Fort Minor project and Linkin Park's last two albums. Which again is not to say that it's a bad thing, but I happen to think that's really cool. That's really awesome. And Chester, what else can I say about Chester? Chester is a phenomenal singer. Chester is a great singer. Even singing against even singing against an electronic background, as driving as this song is, it really kind of gives a kick, it gives a force to his vocal performance here. And you know, like it's incredible. It's just awesome, just great. And you know, and there's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of bothering about, like, you know, like oh, this is a crappy electronic song. Linkin Park used to be rock. They used to be metal. They used to be aggressive, angry, you know, like, and whatnot. And you know, to be honest, I'm really not going to get into this debate between old versus new Linkin Park. At least not yet. When I get to 1,000 Suns, I'm gonna really make it. You know, like, I have a big thing with 1,000 Suns. I really do. And when I get around to that review, you know, like, expect me to make a bit of huge of a rant with that album. But what I am gonna say right now is you know, like, is that Linkin Park was never really a rock band to begin with. They were, you know, they were never a rock band. They were never a metal band. They were never a rapcore new metal band. They were, to put it quite basically, they're a music band. They are a simple rock and roll band. They take, like, I mean, like I said in my Zero review, they take Zero and Hybrid Theory EP reviews. They take different styles of music, you know, whether it be that grunge or metal or hip hop or ambient or electronica, and they utilize it to their sound. They utilize all those different styles into making their own unique sound. And it's no different here. I think the only difference between this song and a lot of Linkin Park's more recent songs off of their most recent albums is the fact that Brad Delson's guitar playing takes a bit of a bigger role here. A little bit. It's not as forefront, it's not as nearly omnipresent as it is in Linkin Park's earlier songs, like One Step Closer and Points of Authority, but they do take a much bigger presence here than they have in various songs of 1,000 Suns, mainly. And like I said before, this has a place for my head type of feel. It has really just a kick, you know, a really energetic kick to it. And Rob Bourdon's kick drum here is just pounding. It's racing. You know, his kick drum on Lies, Greed, Misery really is like a pounding in your head. It's like dun 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 dun. You know, it's really cool. Like, it's just really cool. And if you ask me, the extra electronic bits, even though, you know, it's not as ambitious. It's not as what's the word? The electronica doesn't take a forefront presence in this song like it did with 1,000 Suns, but you can say it really does balance, even more so than Burn It Down, in my opinion. It really balances the hard-edged aggression of Hybrid Theory and the electronic tinkering of 1,000 Suns, and it really puts those together. Except the only difference now is that it's not as laden with electronic layering with it. It's more kick. It's more of a drive. And Brad, there are drums, bass, and guitar in this song, believe it or not. But anyways, but I can explain that more when I get to Living Things. But my thoughts on the song: great, awesome, I really can't wait for Living Things now. I'm really pumped up to buy that album now. And that's all I got. That's all I have to say about Lies, Greed, Misery. Great pumping song. Really a big throwback to the band's early days, but not so much to the point of being very stale or them playing a former shadow of themselves. So you can disagree with this on me if you want, but that's that's my take. That's my stance on it, and I'll explain a lot more when I get to A Thousand Suns. So be on the lookout for that. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Mr. Music Fan, Lies, Greed, Misery. See you guys later.